Good morning.
I can't wait up. See me running round the corner, move me up into the upswing.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Good morning mga kuyas and ates! I am Ate Pia.
And I am Ate Wilson.
And I am Ate Sheila.
And welcome to the Ti Amo Podcast.
This podcast we're going to talk about scalding hot.
Trendy
And popular.
literary words. So mga ates and kuyas, our flavor for today's tea session is love, loss, and lesson.
Wow, I'm so excited about that, Ate Wilson.
As you should.
And I know that we are also ready to share our excitement with our special guest for today. Right, Ate Fia?
Right, Ate Sheila, without further ado, let us welcome our guest. Starting with Ate Rosa.
Hi,
Very
everyone.
fire.
Very cocky girl.
Burn.
Thank you.
Next it up is Ate Denzelle.
Hi.
Very demure.
Very cutesy.
Yeah.
Another one is Ate Jehn.
Very winter and considerate.
I love it. I love it for you. And lastly, Ate Jann.
Very boss babe.
Very hot girl in red.
Very CEO.
Yes. So, mga ates, how are you feeling today? Ate GM?
I'm pretty much excited, Ate Sheila. How about you, Ate Rosa?
Want to learn a lot
Oh
in
my
this
God.
podcast.
How about you, Ate Jann?
I'm very much thrilled to be here with all of you guys.
How about you, Ate Denzelle?
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, very
touching.
cutesy.
So, what's the tea, mga ate?
Our tea for today's tea time is the groundbreaking, best-selling 2012 romance novel, Me Before You, written by Jojo Moyes.
Okay, wait, Ate Wilson. Before we collect the tea, let us first take a sip. Come and join me.
Cheers, cheers, cheers. Very diabetic.
Ate Wilson, might us do the honor to introduce to us to the overview or summary of the book Me Before You.
If you haven't heard Me Before You yet, you are missing out. Because Me Before You is one of the best modern popular literature in the world. So, it basically follows an enemies to lovers trope. It talks about Luisa facing a financial struggle who takes the job of a caregiver to Will Trainer, who is a former high-flying executive who became quadriplegic after he got into an accident. No? So at first, the relationship was kind of a bit strained, but as they spend their time together, their bond deepens. So there's a part of the novel wherein Luisa's infectious optimism and unwavering belief of life's possibilities beat away out of Will's despair. However, Luisa managed to rekindle Will's passion in life by introducing Will to new experiences, and in turn, Will urged Luisa to step outside her comfort zone. But yes, not all story ends without a struggle.
Yeah, it's really.
Because at nearing to the end of the story, Luisa and Will have to confront a heart-wrenching decision, and it is related to a very heavy action that could spark debates about ethics and life.
Yeah.
So yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And I'm not done yet, because what's exciting here is that people have this narrative in their mind that Me Before You is just an easy read, which is not really surprising because Me Before You is very popular. If it wasn't an easy read, it would be a flop literary work. But it is not. It is not a flop literary work. So that is our job today as literary enthusiasts, and that is to prove everyone that there are more layers to this novel that makes it very popular.
Yeah, thank you for that, Will, for that comprehensive introduction to the book. And right now that we've touched the overview of the book Me Before You, let's, delve deeper and, what makes the story so captivating. Now let's shift our focus to our observations or the key observations. Now let's start with the setting. What do you think, Ate Jehn, is the primarily where the story primarily takes place, and what's the role of this setting and shaping our characters and their experiences?
So as we all know, we already have read the book, man. So the story took place mainly in the Granta house, or the house of Will Trainer, which is also the workplace of Luisa, wherein she goes back and forth from her house into her workplace.
Yeah.
And that the story happened during 2009, which was 2 years after the accident of Will Trainer.
Which is also an era of recession, no? In the book's context.
Yes.
Yes. So, while you were reading the book, Ate Fia, what did you feel?
Reading that book, actually, I feel a lot of emotions. It's like a roller coaster ride of emotion. Did you also feel that, guys?
Yeah, there's happiness, there's anger, there's annoyance.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that for me, reading that book, as what I said, I have a lot of emotions going on reading that book. And the first is hope. Hope because with Luisa's optimism and the blossoming romance between her and Will, amidst the circumstances that Will is actually paralyzed, right? And that manifests the mood of hope. But the other one is, I think this also perfectly describe the mood of the story or the book, is the feeling or the mood of bittersweet. Do you also agree, guys? Bittersweet. Because in the side of bitter mood is because, as we all know, reading that book, Will Trainer is paralyzed, right, due to the motor accident. And the sweet side of that is Luisa have this do all those efforts, really big efforts, just to convince Will to stop him to commit assisted suicide because of that circumstance. I know that it's really hard to be experiencing that being paralyzed, right? So, and I think that is very, very sweet of Luisa to convince Will. But as what I said, the bitter side is Will also already fixed his mind rather, to really pursue or to commit assisted suicide. You also agree with that, guys?
Yeah, I think yes.
Now we already set the stage of the overview thanks to Will and the setting and now the atmosphere with that roller coaster of emotions, guys. I think this is a very exciting part. Because the characters are very relatable and I'm very excited to this part, right? Ate Jehn?
Yes. Good call, Ate Fia. And I think it's time for us to really understand and to discuss these characters, because characters are very important in this, in this novel, because Me Before You will not be Me Before You without the characters, right?
Period.
But okay, so let's make this, spice, okay? I'm kind of like observing you guys. You're kind of like alive and enthusiastic.
Of course, with the snacks on our table, full of sweets.
So I think we should have a game.
Go!
We should have a
Go!
Yeah. Is it Pepper Parade?
No, it's not. It's more like just simple game.
Okay, I can do that.
So you guys, what you need to do is, if I'm going to mention a character, you just have to, to explain or describe that character in one to two words, or any adjectives that would describe the character,
Okay.
and you have to explain it in 1 to 3 sentences.
Alright, okay, say it.
Are you up for it? Are you up for it, guys?
Yes, I am. Actually, I will sit on it.
Okay. We're seated. Yeah.
We're seated. We're ready.
Okay, so let's start.
Before that, let's
Okay, cheers.
cheers.
So let's start with the main characters, okay? So let's start with Louisa Clark. What do you guys think about Louisa Clark?
Lisa Clark, I mean, blooming flower.
Oh, why?
I think Louisa is a
Perfect.
blooming flower because, you know, she already has the potential, but I think she still has a lot of horizon to experience for her to fully grow.
I agree.
Auntie Wilson, what about you?
Me, sunshine.
Why?
Because Louisa Clark, as what I had mentioned a while ago, has this infectious optimism, and her optimism really brightens up her surroundings. So for me, Louisa Clark is a sunshine.
Oh, okay.
You know what?
How about you, Ate Fia?
You know, before that, the tea was so good. This is so yummy. It's so giving. But, by the way, I would describe Louisa Clark as a fashion icon. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
See? With this,
Yes, actually, there are a lot of outfits inspired by Louisa Clark here, no?
Indeed.
this
We have Boss Babe.
Yes.
We have Demure, Beachy as in the water, Beachy. We also have this very demure, very church girl, Louisa Clark. Diba? Sorry for that. Pun is punning.
But anyway, continue, Ate Fia. What-
Yeah, with this outfits, I think fashion icon because Louisa Clark really expressed herself, expressed her interest through her clothes, and I think it's really relatable for me because I love to dress myself because I think that sets my mood every day.
Yeah. You know what? I totally agree with your answers. Like in the story, you know, we can see that she's very vibrant and she's really has this ability to, you know, to radiate the positivity around her. Yeah,
And
really.
speaking of vibrant, I can say she is a kaleidoscope of color.
I love that word kaleidoscope.
I just realized it today. Yeah.
It's very
Anyway,
reminiscent
anyway.
of your outfit.
Thank you. Okay. Who else do we have?
You know what, Ate Rosa? Because of the word that you use, you deserve a cookie.
Oh my God.
So since you're
I
done,
wish.
yeah, so since we're done about Louisa, what about Will Train?
Will.
I'm curious with Ate Denzelle's thought about
About Will Trainer. I believe that he is a very realistic character because if I was an adventurous, executive, privileged, rich, handsome man and I suddenly became a quadriplegic, I would act like a jerk too. No cap.
Me too.
What about you, Ate Fia? What are your thoughts about Louisa? I mean, Will Trainer.
You know what? The first is it's for me reading that book. It's really hard to describe Will because we were not able to enter his mind. But I think the adjective that best describes Will is he is hot.
Like the tea?
Like
the tea.
As what I said earlier, we were going to talk about scalding hot. And that
my
is
God,
Will Trainer.
so
Because
first
you know what? Will Trainer have this as what is, because I visualize him as very hot because it is mentioned in the book that he is adventurous. He really loves to, adventure. I think that's giving it. Before he was paralyzed, I think I imagine him being so hot or well built and toned body, and I think I visualize that. I think he's handsome and hot. That's it.
Yeah, like, but despite of all those, you know, good points that you have stated, Ate Fia, based on the story, I think I could really say that the life of Will is very unfortunate and very tragic. Because, you know, like, imagine being a well-built man and a very adventurous man, and now he's quadriplegic, right? He's now isolated man, and like it's very like saddening to hear because, you know, no, not just that, not just the accident, but also after he had the accident, his girlfriend.
Alicia. And his best friend,
Yeah.
Rupert.
Oh my
Like, his girlfriend like broke up with him after he had the accident, and she's now having a relationship with Rupert. Like,
Actually, they were in the novel they got married.
oh yeah,
Alicia and Rupert.
like it's it's very like not in the
Giving,
it's
and they
adding
only-
insult to injury, like
Yeah.
they only showed themselves in after
After.
they got engaged.
Yeah,
Like, oh my god.
I think that's what mainly the factor why Will became very attitude, very sharp and sarcastic in some ways. But over the course of story, I'm really glad that Luisa came into his life, and also Nathan as well, because his life really changed, right? Like from being isolated man, he's now like he's reevaluating his perspective about
I
life.
smiled more.
Yeah, that's what I like about him, right? So yeah.
I'm marrying Nathan.
Oh yeah.
I'm marrying Nathan.
I think you look so good at
You,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
It really fits
Yeah,
you.
it's beachy.
As you should. Joke lang. All
What
right.
else? Oh, Patrick.
Patrick.
I think Jen.
I'm gonna
Jen
pass
has an
My
idea.
favorite character.
Oh, controversial.
Bombastic side eye.
I would describe Patrick as an athlete's foot.
Oh my god, so stinky, so stinky.
Smell the as fitness, as a fitness
Enthusiast.
as he is. He is an athlete, and the foot you already know.
What else? How about you, Ate Denzelle? What do you think about
I can feel the
Patrick?
rage.
Patrick, I do not like Patrick as a character. He just infuriates me. And I guess one adjective I can say, well, maybe not an adjective, it's just that instead of blood or muscle, he just gained the audacity.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
Oh my god.
Like, I totally agree. Like, based on the story, like he's very obsessed about himself. He's very obsessed about his physique.
Obsessed.
Very physically fit. And I really find it weird because Luisa is not that kind of girl who's really into that physical attribute of a man. Yeah, like
And for me, like, Patrick made me ask this question, like, dude, like, what are you trying to bulk up for? Like, is it for your body or for your ego? Like,
like he really puts he really puts himself or his desperate goals in front of the line, leaving Lisa behind.
Yeah.
Instead of bringing her with him.
Yes.
To progress as a partners,
That's why
right?
I like him very much because he is a red.
Oh my god.
You know what?
So
I
that's
think
the
the rage is
inspiration.
making me feel hot. I think it's time to talk about loose parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about loose parents, guys? How about you, Ate Rosa?
I can say two things about them: hardworking and loving.
Why?
Yeah, I think I don't need to explain because they really selflessly and tirelessly care for
Each
the
other.
well-being of the family.
Yeah.
So that's it. I like that.
Like, they're very somewhat chaotic, like very typical family, very typical household. But despite all of those vices or imperfections within their family, we really can attest that their family is really loving and supportive, just like what you have said. And yeah, they really give something, or they really assured Luisa that she has this safe haven to return to.
Yes.
Right?
Which contrasts Will's family, right?
Yeah. What can you say about Will's parents?
I'm curious about Ate Sheila. I can see her shivering there out of
Yeah, from what
excitement.
you said, it is in contrast with Blue's parents. I think I will describe them as silently broken. Because I think they're already aware that they have their own affairs or problem going on with themselves, but
Affairs.
they don't have open communication with each other, and that is why they're silently broken.
Bastics. Yeah.
What about you, Jen?
Copy paste.
Their family is very cold, You know, like
Yeah.
from Camila Trainor, from Steven, from Georgina. They're kind of like the family who really doesn't show affection towards one another. Like, you know, but for Camila, we could also the way she, you know, the way she dressed.
Camila is a mother.
Yeah, she's a
She
mother.
mothered so hard.
Despite her hectic schedules, because she's a judge, right? She really based on the book, we really could attest that she is a mother. She really shows concern to her son Will. But for Steven, oh my God.
Let's not talk about
A father by name.
Yeah. But
He actually only donated his sperm.
Oh my God!
Instead of father, he's just a sperm donor.
Yeah.
That's I can't. I can.
I really am the sperm donor. But
Talking
yeah,
about
but
this
yeah,
guy.
there. Steven is very, you know, the audacity of him. Like he is in the story, he is present. He's physically present, but in terms of being a father, he's not. Right? Like.
Perfect absent.
But yeah, I'm really glad that we really talk about these characters because, you know, based from your answers, we really could attest that these characters played, you know, complex roles that really contributes to the popularity of this novel, right?
Exactly.
And somehow these. Okay, go on.
I think we forgot one more character.
I think
Katrina.
Which is also, by the way, guys, to our listeners to our podcast, Katrina is also a member of Lou's family.
Yeah.
But she kind of stands out because of this, let's just say, double-edged sword quality that she has. Care to explain more at the JM?
For me, Katrina is very wise, very smart as well, and very straightforward. The way she interacts with her family, especially to Lou. But despite those lapses in his, you know, in her character, we really could also attest that she really has this, you know, loving and supportive nature to her family, especially to Lou, because you know, especially to those downs of Luisa,
Yeah.
she really, she always there, and she really gives advice, right?
I think that's-
Very typical
Yeah,
sister.
exactly.
That's yeah.
Conscious voice of reason.
Yeah.
Provides, you know, practical
Spokesperson on
perspectives.
But yeah, then again, I'm really glad that we are, you know,
We're able to talk about.
we're able to talk about these characters because they really showed something which makes this novel popular and very interesting for our listeners to read.
Yeah,
right?
the characters, you know, just like what we've tackled just now, the characters are very human. Very, very human. I know that there are some characters that we truly hate, but again, bad qualities are part of human nature.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that's also one of the reasons why the people could relate to me before you. And aside from the human characters, the theme of this novel also is very relatable. Am I right?
Yes.
I totally agree with
Yes.
that.
So, who's gonna talk about the theme? Can you give me one theme that was tackled or like that was trying? Okay, give me one, Ati Jann.
Love and sacrifice.
For me, I want to say life.
Okay.
Me, I think the importance of hope. You know,
Me, it is selfishness versus selflessness.
yeah.
It's that one.
So, who would want to expound more on these themes?
I think Ate Jen have this excitement, like she wanted to dance.
She's very eager, right? She's very excited.
I want to add on the selfishness
Versus
versus selflessness. Okay, I also mentioned about sacrifice, and I believe, like you mentioned earlier, that what makes this novel very popular is that the characters are very relatable. If we look at Luisa, and we focus on the Philippine setting,
There
it is
are
very
many Luisas.
it's very apparent Luisa's situation is very apparent because it is very common in Filipino households that there is a breadwinner
Yeah.
who tries to sustain his or her family and just struggles to make ends meet, which is what Luisa portrayed in the story because she sacrificed herself by working into something that she doesn't really want. And yeah, it is very common in Filipino households.
You deserve a cookie for that.
Wow.
I think another one is, that theme of, I know it's not a poem, but there's a atmosphere of carpe diem. Like CC.
For Luisa.
Yes,
For
for
Luisa.
Luisa. And also,
Also, Will.
also Will.
The
Yeah,
way
also
he extended 6 months just so he can spend some time with his family.
Could be, but I think in the context of Will, he had this philosophy. For me, okay, personally, I think that in the context of Will, he had this philosophy of carpe diem before he got into an accident.
Yeah.
I remember that line in the book. Correct me if I'm wrong. No? Alicia told asked Will that can we do something that doesn't involve you throwing yourself out from the plane, which is very funny to me. It's very I cackle really while reading it. I support your ideas that you have put on our table. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think aside from that, it's what adds to the major reason or the key points why this novel, Me Before You have a wide readership, is actually the point of view.
Yeah.
I don't know if you also observe this one, but primarily the story have first person point of view of Louisa Clark in the first chapters, right? But along the way, the other characters or the story also have this first person perspective of other characters
Such as?
such as Mr. and Miss Trainer,
Josie and
Katrina-
Bernard.
Yes, Josie and Bernard, Katrina and Nathan. And I think with this, this is a very smart choice of this narrative point of view in this story because as a reader, I was able, or I think we are able to join Luisa and other characters in this discovery of being out of death as she does, and I think that really strives us to what is actually this another character is feeling or thinking. What do you think I'm trying to talk about is Will? I don't know if you also observe, but do you observe?
Yes, I do. I observe.
Do you observe?
Because it was
that-
do you observe? Yes, I observe.
I love that for us. But did you observe that the only mind or perspective that was never been entered in the book is Will Trainer? And I think that is a very smart choice of the author. That because I think they suggest that the intention of Will is the central tension of the book because we are not able to understand, we're not able to really comprehend the character of Will because his perspective was never been entered, and that's what makes it have this wide readership because we are able to join the discovery of Louisa, especially Louisa Clark and Will's parents and Nathan and other characters in discovering his character, and I think that what makes this story very popular novel. That I think this podcast is really going great because we are able to reflect and realize a lot of things. No, you know what? Reading that book, I also have my own reflections. But listening to you guys here in the podcast, I actually realize a lot of things. Just out from the surface level understanding of the book, and I think
There's actually a lot of layers there
Right?
that we could interpret. Yeah. So who will wanna share about that? The symbolisms and the things and the concept that we could interpret in the book.
I do. I have something to share.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so actually, there is a paradox in Me Before You, and it is the paradox of love and letting go. Because we romanticize love so much. Romanticism is inherent in love. So in love, people do grand gestures. They hold on, they don't let go. They fight, they slay dragons, they save princesses. But in Me Before You, it's more like as they grew closer, as Will and Louisa grew closer, it became harder for Louisa to accept that Will has made a conscious decision to end his life. And so this paradox is that people are now realizing that in love, there is also letting go. And even if it hurts you, if they want to go somewhere else, if they want to make a conscious decision, or they want to do something that is within the right, then you should let them. Why not? You love them, right? Also,
Selflessness versus
yes,
selfishness.
yes, it cycles back to that.
Yeah.
Also, there is also an irony in the title, which I'm pretty sure we all have noticed. So it's Me Before You, and then it sort of implies prioritizing the other person. So you have Will, who is even though that he has become depressed, he slowly opened up, let his guards down for Louisa. And Louisa, even though that she didn't want to be a part of this entire thing, of this whole affair, because of her morals, she decided to become Will's caretaker even then. But then at the ending, you see that Will Trainer prioritized himself instead, because even though he will hurt Louisa, he doesn't want to live his life in a world where he is quadriplegic.
Yeah.
What about you, Ate Sheila? What can you say?
Yes, actually, Ate Danza, what you just shared correct right now is what I had also been thinking. But as I was listening to you right now, I think I have new realizations that I want to share it with everyone else here in the podcast. So it is about the cultural view of disability and quality of life. In a sense that from what I know, the Western medical culture puts emphasis on physical independence and achievement, which actually clashes with Will's condition because, as we all know, he is quadriplegic. So it means from neck to down, there's no movement.
He's paralyzed.
Yes, he's paralyzed. So, and for that, the belief of repairing an individual from his condition is impossible for Will anymore because there is no treatment for spinal cord injuries, right? And now that led us to Will's dilemma in his character ethics because he wants to commit assisted suicide rather, and which is an immoral act, by the way, by the moral standards. And so I think
Of who?
the moral
That's it.
standards of other people.
Yeah.
That is why the cultural. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay. And as we all know, Will really want to end his suffering, right? Meanwhile, Lou doesn't want to be part of it, like as Denzelle said earlier. And I think that clashes with their beliefs, and it shows to us that Will's personal belief in life is somewhat not worth living anymore because he believes that if his life cannot be lived fully, then it is not worth living. I really like this line from the novel when he said that from Louisa, with Louisa I mean, that it's not the life I want. It's nothing like the life I want, not even close.
Yeah.
Even if Louisa was already there. So that's very touching. We're really like,
Oh my
very sad. It's
So
right. And
depressing.
yeah. And in connection with Ate Denzelle's explanation earlier about the ironies, I also want to say about the ironic of Louisa's job, the caretaker, right? Especially
The
that
irony.
as a caretaker, she was given the duty to save Will emotionally. But at the end of the novel, we realize that it was actually Will who saved Louisa, right?
Yeah.
He opened her eyes and made her realize that there is a wide horizon in front of you, girl, and you should chase your dreams and live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Because Wisa, no, for the information of our listeners, because Wisa, for the information of our listeners, because Wisa, during the first chapters of the book, she's really comfortable with working at Buttered Bun Cafe,
Yeah.
which
Very
later
contented with simple life.
on got closed because the owner had to go back to Australia to take care of his family member, and that really shattered Louisa apart.
Yes, and so in continuation, I think it is a very powerful paradox because for someone who wants to die, is somewhat giving life and meaning to someone else, right?
Yeah.
It makes me question myself that why is it always the dying ones who appreciates life more than the living?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
they
so
see
sad.
beauty in life more than
Devoured.
us. Like,
I nailed it.
so what about you, Ate Rosa?
My goodness.
Oh, that really made me think,
Yeah.
that paradox you just mentioned. But that paradox, I think we can see that from the perspective of a whale trainer.
Yes.
And to also relate to what you said earlier regarding whale's decision to still pursue assisted suicide. So one cultural value that I've actually observed from the novel is, especially that this story is set in UK.
Yes.
Part of the Western society. They really value individualism. Right. So there, to answer that question, I think Will was actually forced to, realize the value of life because of his disability, his awareness of the limited time he has, as well as I forgot the term. Yeah, as well as the imminent of his death. Yeah. So I just really realized that Will's grounded belief is really based on his cultural aspect, the way he was brought up, which is in a Western society. So I think we can really all boil it down to the individualism culture of the Western people.
Yes, I agree.
And that's really one thing that I like, at the same time I don't like. I don't know why.
Very
How about you? What do you say about the things that we just talked about today? Ati Van or Ati Will?
Cycling back to my point, that I mentioned a while ago, that's the thing. That's the thing. Many book lovers, as I was scrolling to the reviews before I read the book, many book lovers there said that it's an easy read romance. It's a good read romance. It's a feel good book, which is not wrong. It actually is. It's something that you could just read when you're in a cafe or when you're bored. No, it's actually not that heavy, but again, it's actually not that light. People have this narrative that Me Before You is popular because it's part of the cliche, like enemies to lovers, this hampas lupa girly, fell in love to this rich boy. That's the thing. Listeners, if you were really listening, there are a lot of underlying themes and concepts here that makes up the entirety of the book. So that's the thing. Sometimes people tend to overlook the hidden message, but that's also the thing with Jojo Moyes. The way she wrote the book, the way she sets up the events, the way she made the character as very human. It doesn't really give you or lay bare the message, but she also made the journey of discovering the message very easy. That's it. So this book really can really steer ethical debates. That's the thing. So that's my input for today's video or podcast.
Period.
No, this is a very fun discussion, guys. And to make it more fun, let's eat. Guys.
Let's cheers.
Let's cheers. Okay, let's cheers.
Yay! So I believe that we prepared something.
Yes, I prepared something for you guys. Do you want a game?
Oh yeah, another game. I like that.
Yes, Pia.
We will play Would You Rather game. Are you guys excited?
Yes.
Hep hep.
Hooray!
I love that energy.
Buttered, but okay, one more.
Yeah, I have something for you here. Ta-da! The best is we prepared some questions for you to answer.
And not just question, we also have
a twist.
Yeah, twist.
So behind you guys, there are some papers there. Yeah, surprise! So get it for us. Yes. So the twist here is if it's with your brother game. If you would, you will raise my cup of tea. You love that
If
for
you
us?
wouldn't,
If you wouldn't, then not my cup of tea. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
So, oh my God, I think Jen wants to, bunot here first. Do you want it, Jen?
I can feel the energy.
Okay. No, give it to me. You're so, Oh my God.
What would be the
Oh my God. The first question for candidate number 1, Ate Jen pala. If you will be the next Miss Universe, wrong segment. Wrong segment. Again. If you are Louisa Clark, would you rather see your partner in his last moments or never see each other for the last time? How about you guys? Also, raise your. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Raise your cards.
Not my cup of tea.
I know. See?
Yeah.
Ate Jen, do you have something to say about your why is it your cup of tea?
Kasi,
For the
Because
girls?
because I feel like I will have a lot of regrets if I will not see that person for the last time.
Loving can
I would
hurt.
rather leave him with love rather than regrets.
yeah.
Yes. Reading that book, I'm like a crazy person because I was like saying Louisa in the book, Louisa, go there too.
Me too.
Like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah,
That's because regrets is let's live our life without regrets.
If you could only see my annotations, oh my goodness, I wrote a lot. Okay, I can feel the excitement on my right side, no?
God,
I feel
who
like
is
it's so
that person?
shaking because of the thrill. Ate Denzelle.
Oh, no.
the only one.
Oh, very pink.
Very demure color like her.
Are you ready for it?
Yes, I'm ready.
Putting yourself in Will's shoes, would you rather continue with the assisted suicide or not?
This is so hard to answer because I'm Roman Catholic. Okay, so I think I will continue with the assisted suicide because it's not just that I can't walk or use my hands. It's that I will be deteriorating as time goes by. And even though my parents are rich, even though that I have friends, even though I have a lover, I do not want to hold them back. I also do not want to suffer in a world where people with disabilities are still being ostracized, we are still a marginalized community, and we are still being oppressed. Honestly, I think that going away in my own terms is the best way to go.
Yes.
That's nice.
I saw an opposing answer.
Yes, earlier.
You know what? Actually, reading that book, because personally, we all have different perception, but actually, it's a fact that it was really hard to put my shoe or even our shoe to Will's shoes because.
Because how could we do that?
Yes. How could we do
Never know
that?
the essence. You are not the thing itself.
According to Emmanuel.
Period. But
Okay,
you know what? The first thought here, what I thought is it is the thought of if I would be Will, I will appreciate what I have and I think continually living because it's really it's really nice to appreciate what you have because other people, life is very precious, and I think we should be thankful for that. But I don't want to invalidate Will, but I think this is only my perspective, since it's really hard to put my shoe to Will's shoe. But listening to Ate Denzelle, that's why I changed my paper there. Because I think, yeah, she's lame. There's the point there, and
I think also JM will slay at the JM.
Yes, I think you should give it to him.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh. I'm scared.
nervous.
I will read it, girl.
Ate Sheila, do the honor.
Between these lines in the story, what would you rather be told by? JM, just live. Or, don't settle, JM.
Oh my gosh, that's an interesting question.
Interesting.
I need something.
For me, I would say, I would lean towards don't settle. Because for me, to live is to not settle. Life is too short for us to settle. Right? It is our essence of being a human being to live our life to the fullest. Because, this is one thing that I really got from the story itself. Na we really don't know what life has for us. We really don't know if tomorrow will exist, tomorrow will come. So as much as possible, now we're living in the present. Of course, we need to maximize our time. We should explore. We should, explore, discover all these places that God has for us. Right? So yeah,
There is no tomorrow. Bye.
David, you.
Wow,
Wow, ako really cruise. I love your answers, no? I am really happy that we are having this discussion right now. And again and again and again, to our beloved listeners, to our mga atis and kuyas out there, that is the point of today's tea time. Me Before You is popular not because it is just a romance novel.
It's
not.
It depicts the lives of very human characters with humane characteristics, touching on themes that we may or may not encounter in the future, or you had encountered before. I don't know, but the things that we encounter today, like the concept of death, the concept of life, the concept of letting go, the concept of love, the concept of sacrifice. And on top of that, it was decorated with a lot of hidden symbols and interactions that may or may not contain a message, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Because Me Before You offers us two important messages. First, living our life to the fullest.
Let's go.
Will's decision is a poignant reminder of life's fragility and life's limited run. Okay? At the end of the line, you will always meet the inevitable.
Yes.
It could be in a form of a choice, or it could be in a form of accident. Second is the importance of individual choice.
Yeah.
Many people may disagree to Will's decision, but the book respects Will's autonomy and his right to determine his fate. Ultimately, the message of Me Before You is subjective, inviting us readers to form our own conclusion. It has complex narrative that could steer thought-provoking conversations. So, yeah, I'll rate Me Before You as with a perfect 10 over 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
5 stars for me too.
5 stars.
Fine, excellent story.
Whoa.
How about you?
Right. 100 over.
Very good.
Wow. 5 stars. Perfect.
Very good. Oh,
20 over 20.
Love it.
1.0.
Me Before You is very famous, no? 4 years after it was published in 2012, it became a movie in 2016 starring the Mother of Dragons, Emilia Clarke, and the Hottest. So, you know what, mga atis, I'm so, yeah, and to our kuyas also, atis and kuyas who are listening to us, I'm very happy that you joined us in today's tea time, no? We really had unraveled a lot of important concepts, no, in our discussion. So with that, I am Ati Wilson.
I am Ati Fia.
And I am Ate Sheila.
Along with
Ate Rosa.
Ate JM.
Ate
Jen.
Denzelle.
and this is the Tea Amor Podcast.